And the chef that is going to walk us through everything here this morning is Chef Freddy Brooker. And he is right here. One of the top chefs right here in Nashville.
Come on over here.
And you have a restaurant, you cook in it, you cook for celebrities.
Yeah, and I've cooked
and
for
you're going to cook for us today.
Yeah, and I love this. I love this cookware because this is a set that you are going to use every single piece. And I know I was listening, you mentioned that this 8-inch skillet is the workhorse. It's my workhorse too. It's my second favorite pan, and we're going to talk about my favorite pan in a minute. But what I love about our cookware is that it goes from stovetop into the oven. Without a tempered glass lid, it'll go in the oven up to 500 degrees. Any pieces that have a tempered glass lid, up to 375 degrees, and that's important, and that's a great set of cookware.
Yeah, it is.
It's not only cookware, it's bakeware too.
And it's all about having the right tools to do the right jobs.
Because what's important when you're cooking meat is you get caramelization, okay?
Oh, and look how even it is, Freddy.
Exactly. And I'm going to show you because I want to talk features and benefits. I want to talk cookware. I want to talk about how we're able to achieve this because, you know, our cookware is put together with a lot of thought and a lot of testing. I had it in the restaurant, and we cooked over 1,500 meals a week with it. And I want to go over all the features and benefits of our cookware. First, we start out with an extra thick encapsulated bottom. And what we do is that we have 5 millimeters of aluminum disc, and we encapsulate it with stainless steel to create 6.1 millimeters thick. Then we add our cast stainless handles, the best in the business, one solid piece. Notice that Y in there? What that does is that diffuses the heat away from the pans so they stay nice and cool. Then we have our tempered glass lid that goes in the oven up to 375 degrees. We reinforce it with stainless steel so we lock in the nutrients.
So if I want to put that in the oven and I want to bake something in it up to 375, I'm totally cool with that lid on there.
You are absolutely perfect with that. And then we reinforce it so everything locks in, so it seals it in. So if you are baking in the oven, braising, it's going to seal in the moisture, seal in the flavor and nutrients. And you can still see it without having to take that hot lid off. Exactly. And last but not least is that hand polished mirror interior that we do twice by machine, and the last time is done by hand.
And why is that so important?
Well, because, you know, it's one of the great myths about cooking with stainless steel. You know, people think things are going to stick. But because of our 1810 stainless steel, and we'll talk about that in a few minutes, you know, we're able to create a high polished mirror interior so food is going to slip and slide all over. And this is our cookware right here. And this is what I was talking about earlier. This is 5 millimeters of aluminum disc, and what we do is that we impact bond it with 1 million pounds of pressure. 1 million pounds? That's 1 million pounds. It creates a one solid seal. See how it goes up the side? Yeah. No air gaps, one solid from end to end. So that's going to give you even heat distribution for great browning, and not only that, you can keep your flame on low or your electric or halogen, whatever you
And it's really better, isn't it?
It's a lot better, so you can cook nice and slow. Okay, now I want to show you, this is our competitors right here. Well, now what they do, if you hold this top one for me, I appreciate it. I was trying to figure out how I could help you there. They use 5 millimeters of aluminum disc. They encapsulate it, but what they don't do is they do not impact bond it. And what that does is that creates an air gap.
A little hole in the side?
A little hole. When you wash it, you're going to get water in there. When that water heats up, it expands, and it's going to blow off the bottom of the pan. You're going to get not only hot spots and cold spots, but uneven cooking. So if you're doing your mother's fried chicken dish, you know what? It's not going to cook evenly. I've been cooking over 25 years, and I've seen a lot of cookware. I've seen it all, okay?
And you've used it all.
I've used it all. But this is, you know, it's about performance. It's about achieving results when you're cooking at home, and everybody wants to step it up a little bit. Well, this is the perfect set, too.
Now, how much would those steaks cost if you were going to serve that dish in the restaurant?
About $35 a piece. That's $70 with the steak
so
right there.
That's
I mean,
like
look at that. When I'm cooking at home, okay, I do it out of enjoyment, but I still have to perform. I still want to have good results, whether I'm using my mother's recipes, my grandmother's recipes, or recipes I developed, or even my friends. When they come over and they want to cook in my kitchen, you know what? They are impressed because they're cooking on 1810 stainless steel. They're cooking on the best cookware in the market today. Okay, we're going to start right over here, okay? And right here I have the 2.5 quart saucepan, and I'm going to make.
What did you just put in there?
I put some elephant garlic, all right, and I got a little bit of olive oil, and we're going to make a little campanata right here. So we're going to add some onions, some garlic.
Chefs
tomato.
have fancy words for things too.
Those tempered glass lids we had in there, and I told you we reinforced them. Well, look at this, cooking absolutely to perfection right there.
And
look at that steam come out.
self-basting, isn't it?
Exactly, and notice how everything's starting to slide around.
Ooh,
and,
yeah.
and this is the 10-inch deep saute. Now I want to show you. Notice how I'm able to take my spatula and go around and make a little sauce in there. That's because there are no hidden angles in there, and that's how professional chefs saucepan right here. I have some sugar water boiling, and we're going to make a little berry sauce. But what's important about this is because we're putting berries in there, you know, people think it's going to react because of the stainless steel. Not true. That's because it's 1810 stainless steel, the best in the business. And because it's 1810, it's going to resist rust and corrosion. And not only that, it's going to be non-porous and non-reactive. And that's important when you're doing a lovely berry dish like this. Just a nice simmer to it. And again, we're locking it in, making it low and slow. That's what it's about. That's because of that extra thick encapsulated bottom. They were able just to pull out all the flavors. So whether you're cooking on the 6-quart stock pot or you're cooking on the 11-inch or any of our cookware, you're able to cook nice and slow. Well, look at this. See how that water glides around on there?
Yeah.
That's because of that hand-polished mirror interior. That's because of 1810 stainless steel. Notice the pan, non-porous, so no flavor carryovers. That's important. And that's everything that I look for in cookware, and that's what we offer you today. I want to show you what the best part.
Look at this, though.
One thing we have not talked about. We have not talked about how easy cleanup is. Look at that right there.
Okay.
That's cleanup
right
there.
That is cleanup.
Why do you love the Santoku?
Well, that's a very good question because I love this because this is my right hand. This is what I use all the time in the restaurant when I'm working and even when I'm on the road. But what I love about it, I love that this is fully forged, okay? And what I mean by that, I mean this is one solid piece of stainless steel going from the handle through the bolster through the blade. One solid piece, not stamped, because a stamp blade is made out of two pieces and they take, you know, just stainless steel and they just kind of stamp it out. This is one. This is fully forged, triple riveted handle. I love the weight and balance, and not only that, that hollow ground design, so nothing is going to stick. These paper thin slices I'm able to use. You know what? Stainless steel, this is going to stay nice and sharp. I mean, look how thin those are. Absolutely paper thin right there. You can't do that. But the Santoku knife, because you have the weight and balance, you're able to control the knife, so you're able to control what you're cutting. And you know how hard the skin of a pineapple can be. You know, slides right through. And not only that, look how I'm just able to go through there. You know, and pineapples have a lot of sugar, but look how it's just able to sliding right through, nothing sticking together, nothing sticking to the knife. Perfect every single time. I know, yeah, I mean, it's impossible because this is the knife that you're going to use all the time. Look how it just went right through that eggplant. Tough skin on there, soft in the middle, but you know what? Sliced right through there. Absolutely perfect. And let's go back to a potato because I just want to show you. It's just a perfect example why a Santoku is so nice. Because you have that hollow ground design, and not only that, that perfect weight and balance, you are in total control of that knife. And look how nice I'm slicing these. Absolutely perfect. The mandolin is, you know, one of the workhorses in the kitchen. It is, you know, the other knife, so to speak. And this is something that we use always. And this is something you're going to use in your home. This is where a great meal starts. It starts with the prep. And it starts with consistency, too. Because whether you're slicing potatoes, whether you're shredding, you know, cabbage for coleslaw, but look how nice and thin. Right? And this is what I love about it. You know, because you use a food processor, you always have to find the blades, you know, and you can't adjust them, okay? With the mandolin, you're able to. You're able to adjust the thickness. And this one up to 1/2 inch thick, and that's very important. Whether you're, you know, because some people like to make, you know, thicker potato chips or thicker potatoes for their gratins, perhaps. You know, everybody has their own recipe in the way they want to cut.
And it won't cook consistently if you don't have consistent slices.
Exactly.
You have to have a blade. You don't have to have a knife.
Exactly.
And look how consistent
and look
that
how
is.
nice it just stacks up too. I mean, that's just slicing 2 apples, you know, for the kids, or if you're going to make like an apple, you know, tart, you have it right here. This is what we use in the restaurant. This is what I love to use in home, and this is what I'm seeing in everybody's home because this is the workhorse. This is something you're going to use. And again, this is 1810 stainless steel. Now, what this is, it comes with different blades. I want to show you. It just cleans up in an absolute breeze there. But it comes with the straight blade, which I have in right here. At the restaurant, we go through 30, 40, 50 pounds of onions, but look how quick and easy this is. Again, because all you're putting in is a straight blade, and I like putting in the big julienne blade, and look at that. You have 3 diced onions in no time. So
no crying.
And again, you're able to adjust the thickness. So if you want a smaller dice of onions, perhaps you're making a little marinara or you're making a vinaigrette, you know, you want it smaller, you could just change it out. Part of my my knife collection,
it's
so
your
to speak.
shtick.
Exactly, because this is the tool that I use every single day, day in, day out, whether I'm slicing onions. Not only is it 8.5 quarts, it comes with this great porcelain container here that is dishwasher safe. That's warm right there, but I can pick it up. But you have Sta-Co handles right here, so you're able to move around. Brushed stainless steel casing, which fits into any decor, and we're going to talk about that in a second, because this is not your mother's slow cooker or your grandmother's slow cooker. But one of the best features on here is that it's 300 watts, and not only that, you have 3 different settings. You have the high, you have the low, and you have the auto defrost, which is brand new. And I mean, that's fantastic, especially if you forget to pull something out of the freezer, or you want to start something the night before, you're able to do that. And here's what I was talking about. Look at our look at our barbecue pork right here. And you know, this is great for picnics, you know, for Sunday church events, you know, even if you're a baseball coach, potlucks, you know, this is something you're going to use all year round. It's just perfect, you know, for traveling to the parks, you know, fill it up your favorite barbecue. Or better yet, you know what, make a nice chili. No one says chili has to be just for the wintertime, you know, because I love having, you know, watching the baseball games and having nice chili dogs. So it's something, it's great. It's like an extra stove sometimes, especially with, you know, with family reunions coming up and you're having a lot of family over. You know what, start a pot of chili.
Well, and you know,
funny you mentioned that, because I made you some chicken fingers.
Did you?
But that's what's important. But at the restaurant, they're able to keep frying and feed, you know, 50, 100, hundreds and hundreds of people, even at the fast food restaurants, because they have a fryer with the coil being in the oil, because of that thermostat maintaining that heat, so they're able to do it. Well, you have the same technology right here. The coil sits in the oil, maintaining that temperature up to 375 degrees for perfect frying over and over again. This is that digital readout. And what's fantastic, you know, is that you're able to set the temperature. It's very simple. Just hit select. You crank up the temperature. You hit plus up to 375 degrees. You hit the start or select, and then you're able to do the timer, because it has over a 90-minute timer on it. And what's great about that, when that timer goes off, the machine's going to cut off. Okay, so that's another great safety feature. So you're not going to have any flash fires. Easy to operate, easy to use, and I mean, this is just fantastic. And again, flash frying, crisp frying, that's perfect.
This is also digital readout, which is impossible to find in the marketplace at this great price. Less than 3 minutes.
Look how these chicharrones come up. You know, that's because of continuous heat. We have that oil at maximum temperature, 375 degrees, for crisping things perfectly. Nice soft interior. I mean, this is how we fry in the restaurant, and this is how you're going to fry at home. And this is so great because it's going to fit right on your countertop.
Remember, already we've sold 190 of them. Only 50 sets are remaining. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with more Cook's Corner, so stay with us.